Welcome, dear learners. Today you are about to read an inspiring English story that will not only help you improve your vocabulary and reading skills, but will also touch your heart. Stories are one of the best ways to learn a language because they help you understand emotions, ideas, and real-life situations. This story is about courage, determination, and believing in yourself even when the world seems against you. As you read, imagine the scenes in your mind and think about the meaning behind each event. Have you ever faced a difficult situation where everything felt impossible? Maybe people told you that you could not succeed. Maybe you failed many times and wanted to quit. Many people give up when life becomes hard, but some people choose a different path. They keep trying, learning, and growing stronger every day. The story you are about to read is about a boy who faced many challenges, but he made a powerful decision. He refused to give up. This story will take you to a small town where a young boy dreamed of changing his life. At first, everyone believed his dream was too big. Some people laughed at him, others ignored him, and many said it was impossible. But the boy had something special inside him, a strong heart and an unbreakable spirit. What happened next changed not only his life, but also the lives of the people around him. Let us begin the journey. In a quiet town surrounded by green fields and dusty roads lived a boy named Daniel. His family was poor, and life was not easy for them. His father worked long hours doing small jobs, and his mother sold homemade food in the local market. Every day, Daniel watched his parents work hard just to provide food for the family. Even though their life was difficult, Daniel carried a big dream in his heart. Daniel loved school more than anything else. While other children sometimes complained about homework, Daniel enjoyed learning new words, solving problems, and reading books. His teacher noticed his curiosity and often gave him extra books to read. Daniel believed that education was the key that could unlock a better future for his family. However, life soon placed many obstacles in his path. When Daniel turned 13, his father became very sick and could no longer work regularly. Suddenly, the responsibility of helping the family became heavier. Some relatives told Daniel that he should leave school and start working full-time. They said education was a luxury for rich people. For a moment, Daniel felt lost and confused. He loved his family and wanted to help them, but he also knew that leaving school would destroy his dream. That night, he sat outside his small house and looked at the stars. He thought about his future and the promises he had made to himself. The next morning, Daniel made a decision that would define his life. He decided that he would both study and work. It would be difficult, but he was ready to try. Every morning before school, he helped his mother prepare food for the market. After school, he worked in a nearby shop cleaning shelves and carrying boxes. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Daniel often felt tired, but he never stopped studying. Sometimes he read his books late at night under a small lamp while the rest of the family slept. Even when his eyes felt heavy, he reminded himself why he started. Not everyone believed in him. Some people in the town laughed and said he was wasting his time. They believed a poor boy could never achieve great things. Their words hurt Daniel, but instead of breaking his spirit, they made him more determined. One day, his teacher announced an important district scholarship exam. The winner would receive money to continue their education in a big city school. For Daniel, this was the opportunity he had been waiting for. But the exam would be very difficult, and hundreds of students would compete. Daniel began preparing with all his energy. He borrowed books, asked his teacher many questions, and practiced every night. There were moments when he doubted himself, but each time he remembered his parents' sacrifices, and his dream became stronger. The day of the exam finally arrived. Daniel traveled to the city for the first time in his life. The tall buildings, busy streets, and large school made him nervous. Many students there wore neat uniforms and looked confident. For a moment, he wondered if he truly belonged there. But then he took a deep breath and remembered his journey. He had worked harder than anyone else. He had faced struggles that many students could not imagine. Slowly, his fear disappeared and his confidence returned. When the exam papers were distributed, Daniel focused carefully on each question. Some questions were difficult, but he refused to panic. He used his knowledge, thought calmly, and kept writing until the last minute. When the exam ended, he felt both exhausted and hopeful. The results would be announced 2 weeks later. Those days felt longer than any days in his life. Daniel returned to his town and continued helping his family while waiting for the news. Every night he wondered what the future would bring. Finally, the results day arrived. Daniel's teacher received a phone call from the district office. With excitement in his voice, he called Daniel to the school. Daniel's heart was beating fast as he walked toward the classroom. When he entered the room, his teacher smiled proudly. Daniel had won the scholarship. Out of hundreds of students, his name was at the top of the list. For a moment, Daniel could not believe what he heard. Tears filled his eyes as he thought about his parents, his struggles, and the nights he spent studying under the small lamp. All the hard work had finally paid off. His teacher shook his hand and said, "You proved that determination is stronger than difficulty." News of Daniel's success quickly spread throughout the town. The same people who once doubted him now congratulated him. His parents felt proud beyond words. For them, this victory was not just about education, it was proof that dreams could come true. Soon, Daniel moved to the city to continue his studies. Life there was still challenging, but he had learned an important lesson. Success does not come from talent alone. It comes from patience, discipline, and refusing to give up. Years later, Daniel became a successful engineer. But he never forgot the town where his journey began. He returned often to support schools and encourage young students to continue their education. Whenever someone asked him the secret of his success, Daniel always gave the same simple answer. "I never stopped trying, even when things were difficult." And that is the power of determination. No matter where you come from or what challenges you face, your future is shaped by your choices. Like Daniel, if you refuse to give up, you may discover that the impossible is actually possible. So remember this story whenever you feel discouraged. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. Your journey may be hard, but every step forward brings you closer to your dream.